Hey guys, I wanted to show you what we're making this week. This is a shooting star inspired by the story that you just listened to, hopefully, um, called How to Catch a Star by Oliver Jeffers. And in the story, the little boy is desperately trying to catch a star for himself. And I thought it would be fun for us to make a shooting star using all of our lines that we've been learning about this year in an expressive way. So, when you finish, you'll have a couple of different options of how you can hang up the star if you want to cut it out like mine and hang it somewhere, or if you want to keep it on the paper, you can do that too. I thought this would be something fun for us to do, and especially with Memorial Day coming up. So follow along with me. I can't wait to see what you make.
Okay, for the first step, we're going to draw a star. And I'm really kind of excited about this one because I have a lot of students ask me how to draw a star or tell me that they don't know how to draw a star when they need to put a star on our star chart. So I think it's great that everyone's going to learn how to do that now. So what you need to do, I'm starting with half of a piece of paper, just like a regular 8 by 11 paper if you have copier paper at home from your mom or dad's printer, or if you have even lined notebook paper will work fine for this. So get half of a sheet of paper, and that will help you get a good size for it. So we don't want the star to be tiny, that won't work. So I'm going to try to really use up the height of this paper. So I'm starting with a great big mountain line. This is like the beginnings of a zigzag line, up and down, sharp and pointy at the top. And then from this line, I'm going to try to go straight on through about the middle of that line to make this point, and it's just going to go right on out that way. It does not have to be perfectly straight. Personally, I love stars that I can tell are hand drawn and do not look perfectly straight. It kind of makes the star look a little more animated, like it has its own character. So from this point, I'm going straight across with a horizontal line to make the point that will be out here. And I'm just going to estimate about how long I want it so I'll know where to stop. Come straight out and across. And then from that point, I'm going to connect back to this line. So I'm just going to head down in that direction. And there we go. So now I've made my star. I'm not going to worry about erasing these lines where it all kind of crossed over, because I'll be using the other side, the empty side, that's nice and clean. So the next thing that I need to do for this project, since I have my star drawn, is cut it out. Don't worry about staying right on the lines, and if you want to give it a little more character as you cut, you can kind of curve out with the lines. You don't necessarily have to cut right on them. My lines are really pretty straight, but I'm just going to give them a little more character. I'm sort of cutting around it. You can cut right on it if you want to. Okay, now when I turn it over, I like that. I think it kind of, I don't know, it kind of looks like a star that could run and jump and bounce around. So the next thing that we want to do is a little bit of color on that star. So I have pulled out my oil pastels, and I'm going to use some yellow and orange, and I'm going to make some curved active lines just to make it look kind of swirling, maybe a little like a Van Gogh. Okay, now our next step is to glue our star onto the background paper. And as I said before, this could be a piece of construction paper, but you could also use a colorful sheet out of a magazine or a white piece of paper that you've colored in the background however you choose. So we're very flexible about that. So you choose something for the background, and then you have to kind of decide for yourself if you want to glue this on the paper in the frame. That is what I did here for this one, and then I cut around it so that it would be thicker and it would hold up when I'm hanging it up. Another option, if you're not going to cut it, would be to kind of make it go off the paper like that. That looks nice too. So this part is up to you. Since I do want to show you how to cut it out, if you choose to do that, I'm going to go ahead and bring mine down onto the paper and glue it down. And I am all out of glue sticks, so I'm using this little glue bottle. And don't forget our glue rule. If you're using glue bottles, that is dot, dot, not a lot. Thing that I want to do is add the lines that are showing that movement of the shooting star. So if you look back at my example that I showed you at the beginning, I used a lot of different kinds of lines that we've learned about this year. Dotted, here's a curly line, a few dashed lines in here, zigzag, wavy. This is a broken wavy line and a straight line, and I'm sure you can think of even more. So we're just going to have fun with our lines at this point. I used lots of color, and then I went back over them with white to kind of make them brighter and make them stand out. Okay, now remember, as you are cutting with some of these challenging lines, that it's a great idea holding your scissors with your cutting hand and your paper with your other hand, and you are moving the paper with the hand that doesn't have the scissors very slowly, just turning to create that line that you're cutting. Okay, and so we're trying to just kind of copy that line that we've drawn with our scissors. Now right here I can't make a loop-de-loo because it will cut the paper off, so I'm just kind of making a little bit of a wavy line as I go around it. Okay, and it does not matter that I cut into that zigzag a little bit. That is perfectly fine. I'm not sure if I'm going to cut both of those zigzags apart. I'm going to start with it this way. So turning with your hand that isn't cutting. Keeping your fingers out of the way. Now those are all cut apart and will kind of flutter around, which will look nice. Now to put the string in it, I'm just going to choose for myself where I want it to hang from, and that will be totally up to you. On this one, I hung it, since everything was pointing straight down and I wanted it to have a little more movement, I hung it from one of the sides. So you could see in the picture of it that it kind of tilts to the side. But since this one already kind of goes off to the side, I think I'm just going to put the hole right through the top. So I'm going to fold that point, take my scissors and make a little snip. So that's snipped right through it. And I have some ribbon. You can use any kind of string that you can find. I could, if I needed to, I could even cut a strip of this construction paper and use that to hang it up. So I happen to have a lot of ribbon, so I'm going to put that through here like that. And then I can take my ends. This is another thing we always need help with. Two ends together, loop it around my finger, and push the ends through that hole. Okay, and now it's ready to hang up. Hope you had fun, guys. I can't wait to see yours posted to our Padlet. If you hang it up, take a picture where you hang it and post it for me so I can see it. Bye.